Number 8. The Restart Theory. The Urbano-Monti map was made in 1587. The map depicts the Arctic regions of the world without any snow or ice. And between South America and Antarctica, the map shows a mysterious bridge of land. Showing the North Pole and the South Pole doesn't make any sense because these places hadn't been seen by human eyes yet. In the 16th century, nobody had discovered Antarctica. People had only just found the edges of America, with much of the world still unexplored. Yet somehow, Urbano-Monti made a full map of the planet. A dry Antarctica isn't the only thing depicted on the map. There are images of centaurs, unicorns, and all manner of mysterious beasts. Manticores, genies, sea serpents, and dragons. The map is covered in fantasy creatures. Most experts agree the map was a blend of science and imagination. But what if these creatures were real and people knew about them? The map is part of a very unusual theory claiming that the world was a much different place in the 16th century. Those who support the theory use unexplainable artifacts like Urbano's map to push their agenda. They think history is being suppressed and that the human idea of time is false. The restart theory says that prior to the colonial era there was a great reset. The planet was devastated by something very powerful, either aliens or advanced men. Australia was scorched and turned into a desert, and so too were the Sahara and the Arctic regions. There was a nuclear winter, and Antarctica found itself frozen in ice. The mystery creatures like centaurs and unicorns were killed off. Then, to ensure all traces of the old world were gone, 2 world wars decimated the landscapes of Europe and Asia. The idea, which has no real scientific basis, is that someone or something keeps resetting the planet. That's what happened during the biblical flood, and it's what happened in the 16th century before colonialism. And so many believe we are currently heading into another reset. And now for number 7. But first I wanted to give a big shout out to Ding Dong Graham Bell and Erica Russell. Thanks so much for watching and supporting OE. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and join the family. Number 7. The Nephilim Abductions. According to the Bible, the Nephilim was a race of giant abominations. A group of angels known as the Watchers were sent by God to observe humanity. They were there to watch and protect, not to interfere or meddle. But the Watchers became entranced by human women. They began procreating with the humans, which resulted in the creation of the abominations. The Nephilim were giant, abhorrent beings that disgusted God so much that he sent a flood to wipe out the earth. But what if the Nephilim weren't a race of half-breed angels? What if they were aliens who abducted human women? It all depends on your interpretation of a very controversial passage in the book of Genesis. The passage in question says, "When men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose." It's a run-on sentence and pretty messy, but that's the Bible. More accurately, that's the current English version of the Hebrew Bible. The original Hebrew is even more complicated and is open to much more interpretation. Another way of reading the original Hebrew is to create the passage like this: "And therefore they were observing the sons of God, the daughters of the humans, because they were pleasant and agreeable. They therefore snatched the women which they had selected." The "they" in both passages are the angels, the Elohim. Another translation for Elohim could be gods. So to sum this up, the passage essentially says gods in the sky took an interest in human women and stole them. That's the plainest way in English to read the controversial passage describing how the Nephilim were created. This is extremely important because if the biblical passage does describe beings from the sky kidnapping women, the Nephilim would presumably have been the offspring of the extraterrestrials and their abducted victims. It's only one way to read the passage, but it does make an alarming amount of sense. The Bible could be secretly telling the story of how humans interbred with aliens at the beginning of time. Number 6. Von Neumann probes. What if alien life wasn't anything like what most people think it is? Instead of little green men flying around in spaceships, what if extraterrestrial life was robotic? John von Neumann was a mathematician in the 20th century. In 1948, he proposed the idea that alien life consists of self-replicating machines. And after his death in 1957, the concept really took off in the scientific community. people began to hypothesize that there could be an alien civilization currently colonizing the universe using robots. These robots then build more robots by using raw materials harvested in star systems. The robots are known as von Neumann probes, and the theory is that somewhere in the vastness of space is a fleet of probes equipped with nanotechnology and artificial intelligence. They go from star system to star system, creating more of themselves by mining materials and replicating. The idea is that great fleets of self-perpetuating robots could contain emulations of human beings, what we might consider androids. The idea has been investigated by a lot of modern scientists. Gregory L. Matloff from New York City College of Technology recently published a paper about it. He talked about how von Neumann probes could be used to explore the galaxy by an intelligent race of humans. Matloff explained how the probes would likely use gravity-assisted propulsion, basically slinging themselves through the universe using the power of planetary gravity. The technology isn't feasible yet for humans, but it's a real science that people aren't far from creating. Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom went as far as to say humans should dispatch these probes from Earth as soon as possible. They could theoretically be used to terraform planets, and if they work properly, the robots will continue to duplicate while paving the way for humans to live in space. If they were sent by another intelligent race of beings, it could explain why so many UFOs are seen but never encountered. They could just be probes that are millions of light years from home. Number 5. Interstellar Objects. In 2017, something strange entered our solar system. It was an interstellar object that was identified by Harvard professor Avi Loeb. The object was named Oumuamua and was believed to be the first of its kind to come into our galactic neighborhood. But nobody knew what it was when it showed up. The object looked like a giant cigar moving around space about 21 million miles from the planet. That's 85 times farther away than the moon. Oumuamua was somewhere between 300 and 3,000 feet long. The interstellar object was also red and highly unusual. The one thing that really stuck out to scientists was that the object was moving using non-gravitational acceleration. It seemed to have its own acceleration, something that's not seen with natural objects moving through space. It also appeared to be tumbling instead of spinning, which was really strange for what was presumably a piece of space rock. Oumuamua took a shortcut through the solar system, and then it was gone. By 2019, scientists had gotten together to agree that it was nothing but an ordinary piece of space debris. But people still think it could have been from an intelligent race of aliens. It seemed to be moving with purpose, propelled through space by an unknown accelerant. Most recently, the US military revealed something that shocked the scientific community. Oumuamua was thought to be the first interstellar object ever seen by humans entering the solar system. But the US Space Command just sent out a memo to NASA's science chief confirming that they were aware of a different interstellar object in 2014. The military had no reason to lie if the object was anything other than a meteorite. But regardless, they kept it a secret. Could the US government be trying to suppress interstellar objects passing near our planet? Let us know your thoughts down below. Number 4. The Unexplained Hieroglyphs. The Temple of Seti is the home of some extremely unusual ancient Egyptian engravings. The temple is the main historical site in Abydos, and it was built for King Seti I during the New Kingdom period. Seti ruled between 1294 and 1279 BC, fathering the much more famous ruler Ramesses II. Seti was most popular for reopening the mines and bringing prosperity back to Egypt while undertaking great temple projects. He started the complex at Abydos, though it was finished by his son. Abydos grew to be a sacred city, somewhere with hundreds of graves and dozens of sanctuary buildings. Within Seti's temple is a section of wall covered in unexplainable hieroglyphics. Well, whether they're explainable or not depends on who you ask. The hieroglyphics appear to show airplanes, one helicopter, a submarine, and something that looks an awful lot like a spaceship. Ufologists have interpreted the hieroglyphics as being representations of modern technology, and many think the spaceship-shaped engraving is proof that Egyptian pharaohs had contact with extraterrestrial entities. However, mainstream scientists don't agree. They say the hieroglyphics are perfectly normal. The helicopter was recently found to be two different hieroglyphs on top of each other, making an image that resembles a helicopter. Scientists have even translated the original message on the wall. It says, "He who repulses the 9 enemies of Egypt," but at some later point, the hieroglyphics were changed to say, "He who protects Egypt and overthrows foreign countries." Scientists say the spaceship and airplane shapes are the result of eroded plaster and wishful thinking. But what do you think is the truth? Were ancient Egyptians in contact with extraterrestrials? Tell us what you think in the comments. Now, let's move on to number 3. Number 3. Nibiru and the Anunaki. In 2012, there was widespread panic that the world was coming to an end. It was all part of the Mayan doomsday prediction. The Maya calendar supposedly ran out in December 2012. Conspiracy theorists believe it was a prophecy for the end of days. One of the things that was supposed to happen was that Nibiru, a secret planet in our solar system, would crash into Earth and destroy all life. But that was almost 12 years ago, and the destruction still hasn't come. Nibiru is still a theory that's alive and well, though. The mysterious planet made its first appearance in 1976, thanks to pseudoscientist Zecharia Sitchin. He wrote a book arguing that the Sumerians had highly advanced knowledge of the solar system, and that's not entirely wrong. Archaeological evidence has proven that the Sumerians were excellent astronomers, but Zecharia took things a step beyond the accepted science. He claimed the Sumerians worshipped a group of aliens called the Anunnaki. Zecharia also said the Anunnaki live on a planet called Nibiru, which nobody has ever seen before. According to Zecharia, Nibiru takes 3,600 years to orbit the Sun in retrograde. That means it circles the Sun in the opposite direction of the other planets, which is why it was supposed to crash into Earth last decade. Much of what is known about the Anunnaki comes from Zecharia in the 1970s. He wrote about how they arrived on planet Earth 450,000 years ago. They discovered the early evolutionary forms of humans and then gave them wisdom, and thanks to the aliens, primitive apes evolved into intelligent Homo sapiens. Only the Anunnaki didn't do it for fun. They forced Homo sapiens to mine precious metals across the globe. And the aliens only disappeared from our world around the start of human civilization. Humans didn't start forming their own cities until the alien slavers went back to Nibiru. The theory sounds insane, but it's rooted in reality. The Sumerians did worship gods known as the Anunnaki. The Sumerians believed they came to Earth from the heavens with sacred knowledge, jump-starting civilization. However, there's never been any proof that's been found that aliens mined the planet for 450,000 years. Number 2. Starseeds. Zecharia Sitchin wrote his book The 12th Planet about the Anunnaki in 1976. And that same year, Brad Steiger also wrote a book about alien life and extraterrestrials. Zecharia said aliens live on Nibiru, but Brad said aliens live on Earth. Brad introduced the idea of starseeds, beings from another dimension who were reincarnated as human beings on Earth. And to this day, there are a massive amount of people who believe themselves to be reincarnations of aliens. Even those who don't necessarily believe in it are extremely interested in the idea. The term starseed was recently trending with over 1 billion views on TikTok, so these ideas are spreading with uncontrollable speed. But just what is a starseed? Unlike boring Earth souls, starseeds reawaken on this planet after dying on a different planet. Starseeds believe themselves to be conduits between planet Earth and a divine realm. They also believe that they can travel across the expanse of space using something like meditation and astral projection. You can tell that you're a starseed if you have a constant search for meaning in life, strong intuition, and an attraction to spirituality. But scientists have yet to find proof of reincarnation, never mind intergalactic reincarnation. So, do you think such a thing is even possible? Number 1. Did aliens kill the dinosaurs? Science tells us that 65 million years ago, an asteroid hit our planet and the dinosaurs went extinct. It's called the KT extinction event. The explosive impact marked the end of the age of dinosaurs with an enormous exclamation point. The asteroid that hit the planet was up to 10 miles across. It landed in Mexico, right in the center of the Maya homeland, and the crater it left behind is still there. You can even walk through the gigantic pit that was left by the cataclysmic event. After the asteroid struck, an unimaginable heap of debris was flung into the atmosphere. The temperature of the planet then plummeted, resulting in an unprecedented loss of life. These are all established facts. But what's an established fact anyway? Not all the creatures of the world died along with the dinosaurs, as we all know because of the existence of crocodiles. Fish still swim in rivers that were alive before the dinosaurs even evolved, and plenty of other creatures lived through the devastation. Many scientists have suggested it wasn't the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, although it certainly didn't help. About 500,000 years before the impact, there was a surge in volcanism. A huge amount of greenhouse gas spewed into the atmosphere, warming the average temperature across the globe by about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists think this could have been what really killed the dinosaurs, not the asteroid. Then there's the theory that ancient astronauts exterminated the dinosaurs. The conspiracy theory, which once appeared on the show Ancient Aliens, says E.T. killed the dinosaurs using a nuclear weapon. They wiped out the dinos so that humans could evolve and prosper. The evidence that's been put forward is in the form of iridium. Because a huge amount of iridium has been found in fossils from the time of the KT extinction, it's been said the dinosaurs were killed in a nuclear blast instead of an asteroid impact. Nuclear bombs contain iridium-192, the same element that's found in the dinosaur fossils. Plus, fossils from around 65 million years ago are often radioactive. Scientists say it's just a coincidence and that there's no way a nuclear bomb killed the dinosaurs. But not everyone is convinced. Do you think aliens could have had a hand in the destruction of the dinosaurs? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.